We're going to talk about chamfering in edge mode. I've got a chair here that's kind of plain, and I'm going to jump over to my edge mode, and what I'm going to do is split these edges and start creating some roundness to them. Obviously we've started with a box primitive here, but if I grab these edges here, and actually I'm going to jump over to Edit Poly real quick because I like the loop function that I've got here. And if I select these edges, just roll on down here to chamfer, you can see what chamfer does is a lot like what we've been doing with bevel. And at this stage, it's pretty much the same thing. I could have just beveled that top polygon. I'm going to apply this. We'll do the same thing to this piece up here, and we'll chamfer that as well. It jumps to whatever the last setting was. So at this point, I'm going to hit OK. You can also leave them open, which deletes those polygons that we just made. And sometimes you want to do that. That's not what I want to do this time, though. And where chamfering is really powerful is if I grab these edges, which I just made one of those edges, get a hold of them. Just those edges right there. We'll go around to the back. We'll grab the same ones back here. What I can do is split those apart as well, and you'll see that it'll make a nice curved edge there. And now I've got that curved piece in there. So with chamfering and connect in conjunction, I'm going to grab these edges here and these edges here. Give this guy a spin around. Misselecting the edges I wanted. There we go. And if I grab connect and I just put a connecting piece across there, so I've just made this piece. Jump over to my vertices. You can see how you can use chamfer. I'll grab these guys here. I'm going to scale these into each other a little bit. And go back to edge. And I'm just going to select these two edge pieces here. Zoom in. Oops. There we go. And I can use that to split those pieces apart and control how round this area is. And if I hit apply, what it's going to do now is it's going to kind of re-chamfer those areas until I've got a curve there. And you can see I made some tries in the process, so if you don't want the tries, you can't do that. But that's a good way to use chamfer for those edges there. And to finish up, we'll grab these pieces here. We'll chamfer those. Make sure you don't fold the chamfers in on themselves. That's a really good way to get the mesh looking extremely ugly. By folding them in, see how these have crossed over and I get that star pattern. You want to make sure that they don't cross over themselves. And now I've chamfered those edges and they're rounder too. So when I render this, what I end up with is I have these nice edges here that will catch the light and look a lot more rounder. It also works well with normal maps and texturing in that we've got that seam there instead of a corner, so the highlight can kind of bounce off of that seam. So that's chamfer. It's a simple one to use. It's under Edit Poly, Edit Mesh, and it's under the